Well, I guess this shit didn't age well.
Pussy, 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 pussy. Wine girl Ben.
This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Now, seeing about dancehall videos, them carrying this channel at the moment, yes, it really is true. Bringing in the most subscribers, so big up to my Jamaica massive and my dancehall fans overall in general. Big up to y'all. But yes, seeing that that's the case, I decided, in this little downtime that I got making videos and studying and so forth, how about I give y'all a little something for the dancehall fans? Something that could get a lot of people talking, a lot of people can get mad, and I know we drive up engagement, but it can spark a meaningful discussion. We always talking about who's the best in any side of field of entertainment. So how about we look at who was the man running dancehall or a woman for each of the past 10 years, starting with, of course, 2016. And well, he was in the beginning of the video. You already know what I'm talking about.
One bag of gold medal pan me now. Champion boy, you know the damn thing.
If a man time stamping, he most successful and peak year in each genre or field of entertainment from 2-3 years before he even reached the year, then you don't know the man is destined for take over the year. Now I can be honest with you, 2016, 2017, around them years there, I did not like Alkaline. I didn't like his music, or not I didn't like his music. I wasn't really particularly sold on his music. You understand? I was more so of a Movado, Popcaan, Vybz Kartel fan. But over the years I grew to appreciate Alkaline. And not only though, 2016, that was like peak teenage years for me, so you don't know this was the soundtrack of that era for me. I mean, you couldn't go Norway, and I'm talking in terms of Guyana of all places. You couldn't go Norway without hearing ATM, Champion Boy, Black and Elite, all them other songs that come off the album, plus whatever feature run you went on. It extended all the way into 2017 for Alkaline, bro. But he wasn't the #1 artist in 2017. That would actually be his predecessor and eventual pseudo rival. Who we're talking about?
Then up in a 9 and in a 10. Say me now go get that pussy there again.
Come the start of 2017, this man had been in jail for 5 years on a 25 to life charge for murder, but he was still running dancehall. Can you imagine that? Like, one of Kartel's biggest detractors is Sir P from Politics Watch, and even he said that he couldn't even believe the dominance that Kartel went on around this time. It was impeccable. Fever dropped in summer 2016, and it do for Kartel what Champion Boy do for Alkaline in 2015. Carried him all the way into the next year. But even outside of Fever, which we already know is his biggest song of all time so far, Kartel did something even more impressive. He put on 2 new artists, but one more so directly, the other one is controversial. The first, Shensia. Yeah, I've probably heard of her, I don't know what happened to she. If you know, you know. But she came out, Ludi. Big tune. Apparently Kartel never played the song, but it was one of the biggest songs of the year. Then, Infrared Masicka. I don't need to say more. We knew Masicka before then, but this here take Masicka to a different level. And you can see his name later on this list. Just how you know this song elevated. But yeah, 2017 wasn't it for 2017 for Kartel. He had other songs like and some other big tunes. But while 2017 was the year for the Gods of Boss, 2018 would arguably be the year for the prodigal son of Portmore Empire.
What should you tell when you are buying you? Be more careful, do you confide in her.
Reagan King, The Sixth Camp, Alkaline, Dexter Daps. All these people them had some big tunes. And even Vybz Kartel and Movado had some big tunes in 2018. But none of them got to hold a candle to when Popcaan dropped Silence and eventually Forever. That album right there take over the remainder of 2018. And mind you, it dropped in the middle of 2018. Everywhere you went, you heard everybody singing Ik ben je love or Why for me. Come on, bro. Y'all remember that. You were outside. But yeah, Poppy really took over 2018 and somewhat took over 2019 though. But I can't give you the nod for 2019. I really can't. Why? Because I'm not a Prodigy takeover in 2019. This time from the JOP camp.
Let me switch it up a little for them. Who's that? Govy in the city again.
It is really humbled me that Govana had a longer run at the top of dancehall, because this man here really and truly had the charisma, had the lyrics, and had the hit making abilities for ever sustained. career at the top, because Govana still putting out hits, don't get me wrong. But yeah, 2018 is when Govana first boss out like big, but 2019 is when he was running it. Like Cops Up come out late in 2019, I believe. Up Front. Other songs them though he had run in the streets them before start getting new light when the album was gearing up release in 2020. But Govana had the streets on lock in my last full year in high school. And for that, you gotta give props. Govana locked on the place so much that they actually locked on the place the next year. And even though 2020 is a year we want to forget a lot, like so much so that I forget who's even running it, let's not get it twisted. Great music came out that year. For instance, we had the first Gen Z dancehall artist to run the place with.
On a don't grind me. First thing on a bowl like me full of gun, heavy clip full of crocodile teeth.
You could argue that 2020 was the year for the ladies like Shenseea and Jada Kingdom, who ironically are also Gen Z dancehall superstars. But this was the year for Skillibeng, bro. It started off in 2019 as usual with Brick Pump Brick and some other big tunes them, and the momentum just continued throughout lockdown. Everywhere you go, everybody just going. Everywhere you go, you're hearing crocodile teeth. And mind you, most people went inside the house lock up, or they went to work with masks on. So yeah, it wasn't particularly hard to escape this song, but you couldn't even escape it, even with them conditions. Yeah. So Skilly Tech 2020. Who Tech 2021 though? Amanda mentioned earlier.
Everybody up. Yeah. Get them up, you did.
Skilly could have easily repeated in 2021 because he was still going strong. Alkaline could have made his second appearance on this list. Even Spice could have made your first appearance on this list, say. But this year was arguably up to King Croc. Masicka, One Side Boss. 438 dropped the year, and the man just had hits upon hits all over. The man had Pain, Suicide Note, he had Update, like I said before. Automatically dropped the year? I think so. I can't remember. He had this song with what's her name? Stefan Don. But Masicka was running these streets at the time, and you already know Masicka fan base them. Them man are just waiting for the opportunity for he run dancehall so they couldn't shut them out. And I gotta give you you know what's funny? I had no idea Masicka had some sort of beef for the next person coming up here. Cause you would say that this man just off he rocks from doing all them drugs. Guess who it is?
Intellectual murder people edition. Campfire full of gun like Remington.
The madman in clean clothes himself. No Intense, Squash, and even Valiant could have made this list easily. But this was undoubtedly Skeng's year, bro. From the time Gunmanship dropped in 2021, I believe, to the time when he dropped Taliban's with Stark Ashley in 2022. This was Skeng's year. He had Curves, he had Heaven Passport, he had Protocol, he had 23, and he had some of the wildest performances I ever seen in my life. The man was Tommy Lee. If you shrink it down and you expand the personality. But who ran 2023? Some of y'all not gonna like this.
Fucking lonely at the top of the hill. Jordan in I'm prime with a shock I'm still.
I'm making his second appearance on this list already. It's King Croc. Masicka had a big year in 2023, bro. You can't deny it. Like Limelight, Tyrant, Fight, Die. What was the name song? Fight for Us, Die for Us. That song was big. That was my shit right there, too. The whole generation of King's album, Run the Streets. You had some up and coming artists, them, you know, the Molly Dance. You had Baker and their mom having some hit songs. You had Byron Messiah having some of the biggest songs of the year. You understand me? But none of them had a year like Masicka. Masicka had the biggest year. But who had 2024 on lock? Before we get to that, I gotta give an honorable mention to Vybz Kartel. Why? Because Vybz Kartel arguably had the most exposure of any dancehall artist for the entire year 2024. We talking about musically. Musically, Vybz Kartel was not the biggest in 2024 because he was writing off his legacy and being free. But musically, who was bringing out new music that they were running the place with? That's what we talking about in 2024.
Something where you don't know. Me like bad bitch, me like go-go. She like tapping, she like zono.
Now, Masicka could have easily gone back to back based on the momentum from 2023. But Roger Wild just had so much hits. And even though a lot of his songs are not my cup of tea, personally, he had it on lock in 2024. From the start, or the end of 2023 rather, 100 Mile, Go Go, Then in 2024, Inferno, Dolly House, Life of the Party, he just had hits upon hits. And he had the formula. Again, Vybz Kartel had the most exposure, but artists like Roger Wild, Masicka, Craft, them had musically had the place locked down. Shout out to Nige Boy as well. He was also carrying the place though. But 2025 now.
Get a wine for the tip of the cocky, so me shift with the baggy from a pillar, she push in my pussy, the malish, get a pussy, demolish.
Now I know from Gaza fans, Masicka fans, even Alkaline fans and Six fans could tell me I tripping off of this. But none of y'all can't deny that this youth man here was carrying from late 2024 to 2025. Why? Because he was just a hit maker. Hit on top of hit on top of hit on top of hit remixes. Come on, bro. Youth man understand the winning formula in dancehall is to make you dance and enjoy yourself. Balance, tip, the remixes with tip, the remix for We at that point. Bro, the remix for Balance as well with Machel Montano, that was a big song. And the one with Neo too, come on. Everywhere you went, you hear them songs. Everywhere you go up on social media, you hear them songs. People all over the world are playing them songs. And if you can't choose Masicka, or you can't choose Vybz Kartel or Nige by them, you gotta go with Asian last year. So yeah, feel free to debate me down in the comment section. I am here for it, bro. I love it. And also, who y'all think the Tech 2026? Me money there on Alkaline already. Like, he really could take it. So far, I'm waiting to see if somebody else could take it out the trunk. We still only in May. But anyways, I can see y'all later.
I mean, I make them know, say, I don't want it die. I want it live. I'm out.